So what is the relationship between these two chord progressions? Well, there's something interesting going on with the dominant 7 flat 5 chord that you need to know about, and I'm going to share that with you in today's lesson. First off, what is a dominant 7 flat 5 chord? So a dominant with a flat 5 is an alteration of the dominant chord. Take D7 in its normal form. Here we've got root, D, 3rd F sharp, A the 5th on the top, C the 7th, flat 7. If we just take that chord and simply lower the 5th by a semitone, so we flatten it, we get D7 flat 5. So we've got exactly the same notes apart from the 5th is now an A flat or a G sharp. And in terms of the practicalities of playing that chord, I always like to have chord voicings with a root on the E, the A and the D string, and these are the ways I like to play this chord. So off the E string, I like to use this voicing. D, C, F sharp, A flat, root, 3rd on the G string, 7th on the D string, flat 5 on the B string. Off the A string, I like to use this voicing. D, A flat, C, F sharp, root on the A string, flat 5 on the D string, flat 7 on the G, and the 3rd on the top on the B string. Off the D string, I like to use this position. D, A flat, C, F sharp, root, flat 5, flat 7, 3rd. And these chords work really well going to a major chord, major 7 chord particularly, a semitone lower, say D7 flat 5, going to D flat major 7. The note on the top stays the same. Here we go. It falls down a fret here. That's a really nice move to have in your locker. Come back to why that works, because there D7 wasn't going to its usual destination of G, it was going to D flat major. Now things get interesting with these dominant 7 flat 5 chords when you learn that they have a twin, which you can find via the tritone interval. Take a D, go to the tritone, which is a fret above and a string down, when you go from the E string that is, D to an A flat. Now if I played A flat 7 flat 5 chord voicings like this, take D flat 7 flat 5 off the E string again, move to A flat 7 flat 5, we've got exactly the same notes. A flat, G flat, which is the enharmonic equivalent of F sharp, C and D. Exactly the same notes as our D7 flat 5, just in a different order. The same will go for the other voicings. Like here's D7 flat 5. Here's A flat 7 flat 5. Same notes. D flat 7 flat 5 off the D string. A flat 7 flat 5 off the D string. Exactly the same notes in all of those voicings. So obviously they share exactly the same notes, and if you already know about tritones, some of this won't be a surprise to you, but you may not have known that the flat 5 shares exactly the same notes as the tritones dominant 7 flat 5. If tritones is something that you haven't yet looked into, then I've made 3 videos on that topic. I'll link those in the description. Now how I started to apply this in my comping is just in the 2-5-1 progression. First off, where does D7 normally occur in the 2-5-1? That would be in the key of G major. So 2-5-1 in the key of G major would be A minor 7, D7 in its different forms to a G major bass chord. So what we could do here is swap out the D7 and play A flat 7 flat 5. So go A minor 7, A flat 7 flat 5 to G major 7. And the bass has gone from A, D, G, quite a big move, to chromatic down, much smoother. Nice fall to that G major chord. Conversely, we could take the 2-5-1 where A flat is the 5 chord, which is the key of D flat major. So a 2-5-1 with an A flat 7 as a 5 chord would be E flat minor 7, A flat 7 to D flat major 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out the A flat 7 and play a D7 flat 5. So I'm going to play E flat minor 7, D7 flat 5 to D flat major 7. So here's the first way with the A flat. Nothing wrong with it, but this with the flat 5, instant notching up of the dissonance and the tension, but also I feel like the progression travels in a nicer way. It's more fluid. And a little move I really like is where you keep the top note the same. If I go back to the G major bass 1, I'm going to play an A minor 11, A flat 7 flat 5 to G major 7. And the top note remains the same on each chord. Do that for E flat minor 7, a D 7 flat 5 to D major 7. We could go, I think the best place to do it would be up here. Something nice about keeping that top note the same. Now the interesting thing is that if these two chords, D 7 flat 5 and A flat 7 flat 5 are twins, tritone twins, then it means there's other twins out there. And there's 6 pairs in total. And one thing you could try and do is work out what the other tritone pairs are. Which other dominant 7 flat 5 chords are related to one another. Now the chord shapes for the D 7 flat 5 and the A flat 7 flat 5 are available, link in the description, that's on my website. If you'd like some of the 2-5-1 moves that I played, then they're available in tab and notation on the lowest tier of my Patreon page, along with a chart with the Tritone Twins. I hope you found today's lesson useful. If you have any questions, you leave them below. Until next time, you take care.